Okay, now this one has a lot of people worked up. I'm going to kind of preface with that, but we're going to work our way through it because I think it's important. A local high school graduate still doesn't have his diploma after going off script during his commencement speech. Campbell County High School Superintendent Shelley Wilson says commencement speeches had to be approved and had to be rehearsed ahead of time. She says Micah Price knew that and was allowed to thank Jesus Christ at the beginning as rehearsed. He was supposed to go on to the rest of his speech. Instead, Price encouraged his classmates to find God.
In his very word tells us he is the light, he is the way, the truth, and the life. Class, anyone in the audience today, I'm here to tell you that if you don't have any of those things in your life, you can't seem to find the answer, that my Lord and Savior is your answer. He will give you the truth, give you the way, and the life.
Now, Wilson points out Price has graduated and he will get his diploma after he meets with the principal later this week. And you can see part of the statement there that was released by the superintendent. It's really sort of interesting on a lot of fronts. And I think we'll approach this discussion with I think the caution that it warrants. Because if you're the superintendent, right, you have a rule. And the rule is you have to do the speech that was rehearsed, that was sort of checked off on ahead of time. And I think what can happen sometimes when it's something that people are truly passionate about is
the moment seizes you.
That and for people who are upset, I think the issue becomes the content rather than the rule. Do you know what I'm saying?
And I think because I was reading something about this on Kyle Inskeep's page, and he was kind of detailing a statement that they put out as well, saying, I don't think it has to do with the content. It has to do with the fact that the speech was supposed to be approved, and you were not supposed to deviate from that at all.
Right.
You're supposed to read exactly what had been approved, and then he deviated. So it wasn't necessarily what he said.
Correct.
It was the fact that the script. It would have been if he would have said anything off script.
Correct, and then it becomes for people who people were very passionate about it. And what if it would have been something that people would have been less passionate about? What if it would have been some sort of political statements, some sort of statement about something happening in the Middle East, or something about nothing in particular? That would have also deviated from the rule. And what was really interesting to me anyway is that the young man came out later and he sort of owned that.
Right.
Like, I broke the rule. I know I broke the rule, and
I'll deal with the consequences.
Yeah, and I'll deal with the consequences. And I think maybe that's his approach to it is perhaps more mature than some of the responses I have seen to it. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense a little bit?
Right. And I think a lot of times when it gets posted on social media, you see the headline and you don't take the context into, so people are thinking, why wouldn't they not let him talk about God and Jesus or whatever? But they said that was okay because it was in the original script, right?
Right.
But it was just the fact that he had deviated off the script. So
right. And it's even interesting, like from the standpoint of, we had a poll at local12.com, and I think our poll, and I'm probably paraphrasing here as well, was something along the lines of, do you agree with the speech or you disagree with the speech? And to me, that's not the question.
That's the wrong question.
Correct.
That's our fault.
That's the question that is absolutely more likely to get people fired up.
Yeah.
But it's not the question that truly deals with the issue. And and I could see if you're the superintendent, you're the school board, you're whatever.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing to try to wrangle, especially in this day and age.
But it seems like it's pretty black and white in the sense that it's just the script was deviated and that's the reason. It's not the content.
Correct.
And again, he's very mature of saying, I did it.
I did it.
I accept it.
And I thought it was worth it.
I thought it was worth it. And I believe in what I believe in, and this is what,
Correct. Correct. So it's
interesting.
Over the weekend, though, it got a lot of attention, so I felt like we had to at least talk about it a little.
Yeah. Okay. Well, after a serious slump, the Reds are on a hot winning streak after taking out the Cardinals 3-1.
That's right. The Redlegs now on a season-high 4-game win streak at home. The last time the Reds won 4 in a row was July of 2023. Hopefully this is sort of a turning point for the team. Now, we've got, injury after injury that has gone down with this team, and that includes the guy who pitched yesterday. Nick Lodolo was back his first game from injury early in the month. And other than giving up a homer early in the game, he was great. Lodolo was great. The bullpen was even better. The Reds will go for a series win today at 6:40, going for a 5th win in a row. And let's hope they can just keep rolling because it's in such a good place right now. And the thing is, while the sweep of LA was obviously fantastic. We have so many divisional opponents over the next few weeks that if you're going to climb back up the hill, like now is the time you have to do it against these teams.
But true, I saw a post by the account Win Cincinnati.
Yes,
I follow them, and
sure.
they said we're only 3.5 out from a playoff spot.
Is that right?
That's what the account said. I don't know, but we obviously have to keep the momentum going.
Sure. Well, and Ryan
and
Henry,
it's far away from a playoff.
who is up in our director's booth, big time Reds fan, pointed out to me the other day that we are either right at or very close to the same point we were at this point last season, which doesn't seem possible to me,
right?
But apparently is the case.
Okay, keep going. Yeah. Well, there was also a bit of a Reds and Bengals crossover yesterday at the ballpark. Bengals cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt was at the game. The Reds tweeted out a photo of him in his own custom City Connect jersey. My husband was also in, not a custom, but his own City Connect jersey, sitting right near Cam
Taylor-Britt?
Yeah.
Was he really?
It was like 2 seats behind him or whatever,
cool.
so he was pretty excited too. Yeah.
I like when there is sort of mutual support. We've seen Bengals guys show up at FC Cincinnati games too and stuff like that. I always think it's kind of cool.
And my husband said it, and then I just saw it this morning on the Reds social media. They did notifying everybody that he was there, and he stood up, and everybody gave him a round of applause.
Did he throw the first pitch?
That I don't know.
Or was it? No, I think it might have been a veteron who threw out the first pitch yesterday.
Probably.
Can't remember. But no,
but he was there, and they recognized him.
I always
Recognized,
love when
that's the word I'm looking for.
there is a mutual support society. Yeah. Hey, summer has unofficially begun now, and that means it is pool season.
But the city of Cincinnati still is looking for lifeguards. 3 of its pools open this weekend. The McKee Pool in Northside at the rec center there, the Oakley Pool and the Dunham Pool on the west side are now open. The city will operate all of its 28 outdoor pools this year for the first time in several years. And a training event for new lifeguards starts today at the Pleasant Ridge Pool.
We're still looking to hire lifeguards, and if you're interested in lifeguarding with us, the next class starts up on Tuesday this week at 9 a.m. at Pleasant Ridge Pool. If you just show up, we can get you screened and get you enrolled in the lifeguard class. So if you're interested, you got to be 15 years or older, and then we can get you hired on, and the starting rate starts at $16 an hour.
Some of the city pools will be open through Labor Day. Others will close in August when school starts. I'm glad to see them open, and that hopefully all those pools, as they said, will be open in the city. Give people places to go.
Going to be a lot of little kids with blue lips over the next few days, though, because the temperatures are going to kind of dip. You know what I mean? It'll be chilly.
My son starts camp today, and the pool is part of it. And so, but they don't seem to mind.
No,
those kids, they'll dive right in.
They don't care.
Me, I'm like, pool temperature 87. That's too cool.
That is a little. I like it though. I love the temperature. Like it feels.
I love
so
the temperature
like
outside right now.
Spring-like to me right now. I will take it.
Me too.
Yes.
I like it. Well, 5th Street is now reopened following Taste of Cincinnati. Although, do note that some other side streets are going to be back open this afternoon at around 5.
Well, as festival organizers clean up after this kind of festival, this year there is an extra focus on avoiding food waste, and I love this. It's so smart.
It's smart.
The nonprofit Last Mile Food Rescue works to keep food from Taste of Cincinnati out of the trash. The rescue is like a food logistics organization to get the food where it can help the most. The organization works with more than 100 different agencies around the city. Volunteers will be collecting things like leftover buns that haven't been used and lettuce and other produce too, on top of some of the prepared food.
So when it comes to events like Taste of Cincinnati, there's all kind of food that's left over, whether that's hot food, raw ingredients, as long as it hasn't been out for the public to serve from and we can cool it down safely, it can be rescued.
The group hopes to rescue about 1,000 pounds of food that can be translated into as many as 800 or 900 meals to feed people in our community who are food insecure right now.
It's amazing.
Well, because how many times in the past did you hear stories about, we just got to throw all this food away? And then organizations like this one and La Soup, I know does a lot of similar work too. I just think it's so smart to keep that food from going to waste.
And that takes a lot of work, a lot of volunteers, a lot of people who can go and get that food, because it's not a lot of it's probably things that can't be stored for a long period of time. So you got to get those to the soup kitchens or the places that can use them immediately.
And there are pretty strict rules on that kind of thing too. Like in some cases stricter than, sometimes you're like, really? We can't give that to someone?
Yeah, but they don't want to make somebody sick if something, But
it's cool that you've got people who are able and willing and quick enough to jump through those hoops.
Look at that food. That
like you
so
said.
Good right now.
I know. Sure, you could stop watching now, but let's be honest, you want to see more. So click some of those links, or better yet, go ahead and tap subscribe. That way you'll catch more content from Local 12.